know that you were with teacher Coco, who is absolutely amazing. So you were in really good hands.
I tried, really.
You were great. I watched, looked at your boys. They were wonderful. So I know you guys did really well. So we thought we'd start. Oh, it's somebody's foot. With recapping BODMAS. So we're just going to go over BODMAS super fast because I know you guys didn't get loads of time in it last week. So we're going to have a look at BODMAS today, and then we're going to look at prime numbers and then prime factorization. Can anyone pop in the chat if they've done prime numbers and prime factors yet? So just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've done prime and prime numbers and prime factors.
Nah.
That's cool.
Ooh. And we're
Okay,
getting...
a couple of people have done it.
Ooh,
awesome.
And we've got Zoom user again. Zoom user, who are you again? Who are we speaking to, Zoom user?
Okay, Ashley has, Tanwir hasn't. That's cool. Yes, I've got some people who can help.
Yes,
Nima can barely remember that. Awesome. Okay, so some people who can help us go through it and other people who are going to do it for the first time ever. Oh, someone's loving it. Someone loves prime factorization. Clearly.
And pizza. Absolutely love it.
Kelvin, fabulous. Kelvin. Okay, so we're going to start off with Sam. BODMAS. Oh, hi, Rianse. Okay. All right. So, who can remind me? BODMAS. So when we have BODMAS, it stands for bracket first. Okay, so first we're going to do brackets if we have brackets in a sum. Then we have order, and sometimes we might have an of here. So when we have like 3/4 of 100, then we do the of. Then we have divide, multiply, add, and subtract. Okay, now, here's one thing that my kids sometimes get stuck with, right? What happens if you only have, you've done your brackets and you've done your dividing, and all you're left with is add and subtract? What do you do? Or you've got to subtract and then an add. What do you do? Simanye, what do you do? Can you unmute, Manya? Or are you typing?
He says IDK.
Oh, no. Okay, cool. Who thinks that they know? Who can tell me what do we do if we just left with a add and a subtract, or a subtract and then an add?
Well, Watiwe's hand is up. I wonder if she knows.
Watiwe. Okay. Tell us what's going.
No, ma'am, I just joined right now. I wanted to ask, is there anything that we have discussed yet?
Nope, we're just looking at... Nope, we're just starting with BODMAS. So we've only just started.
Oh, you just started?
Just started, so we're just revising quickly. Okay. So Olwetu and Lasedi are saying we add first and then we subtract. Okay, but what if I have got a sneaky sum that says 10, oh, where's my pen gone again? 10 minus 3 plus 5. What do I do then? 10 minus 3 plus 5. Hi, Naomi. Welcome. And Kumo, don't worry. Kumo, you can always just type your answers in the chat. All right. We don't stress too much. Okay. All right.
Okay, guys, we're focusing. Okay, we'll do close in just a bit.
Okay, so 10 minus 3 plus 5. Teresana, what do we do first in that one?
You put the 10 minus 3 in brackets.
Okay. And
then you figure out the answer. And then you plus it with 5.
And then we're going to add it with 5. Okay. So do you guys see what Teresano did there? Even though it says add first and then subtract, When you only have add and subtract left, then all you do is you go from left to right, because that's how we read in South Africa. We read left to right. Okay, in other countries they go right to left, but we go left to right. So we go first, we just do whichever sign comes first. So if it's subtraction first, then we do the subtract first. If it's addition first, then we do addition first. Okay, so when we have adding and subtracting, then we just go from left to right. And I think who said the answer? Oh, a couple of people said the answer is 12. And that would be right, because we have 7 plus 5 gives me 12. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time on BODMAS today. So I want to see how well you can do these, how well you can remember these. And I'm going to put some on. So there's only 5 to do today. Okay. And I want to see what you can do. So I think maybe 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes should be enough. Hey guys, get our brains up and going. All right. So 5 minutes, you're going to do as many as you can, right, on your piece of paper with your pen or your pencil. And you're going to do as many of these as you can in 5 minutes. Deal? Okay, your time starts now.
Oh, man, wait, I forgot my paper. Wait.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Okay.
Okay, Naomi's saying deal. All right, I'm going to restart the timer and I'm setting it for 5 minutes. So I've got 5 minutes on my phone, setting and start. And remember, when you finish, you can just write finished or done in the chat. Okay. Claudie, you're just going to keep your answers and then we'll go through them together when everyone's finished. All right. So just keep your answers. Hello.
Sorry, I'm late.
Don't worry about it. As long as you're here.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, okay. I wanted to check if it's working.
All working. We're very quiet because we're busy concentrating and working out our sums on the board.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay,
But welcome, welcome.
Ma'am,
What's up?
must I start doing the green one?
Yes, we start with the green, and when you finish the green, then you move on to the yellow, and then move on to the red.
Yes, ma'am.
Five seconds left. Oh, my timer's going ping-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, that makes me hungry. Normally I use my timer when I'm cooking. Now I hear my timer. Now I'm like, oh, what food is ready? What stuff is ready? Okay, so let's see. I'm going to see who I can. Sinclair, welcome back. I would never have guessed that you were Boikano, so I'm very happy to see you
Thank you.
You totally and utterly confused us and tricked us. Right. No, oh, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. So, Nokwanda Sibia?
I think it's just Nokwanda.
Nokwanda. Ah, you guys are tricking me.
And I think Nokwanda's she's having a bit of trouble with her sound.
Volume. Okay,
Yeah.
but then Nokwanda, do you want to type in, if you can hear me, Nokwanda, do you want to type in the answer for A? And let's see, who is the Zoom user?
I think that's Oluetu. I hope I'm correct. Oh, Rianetsi. I think it's Rianetsi.
Okay, Renesi, if you're a Zoom user, do you want, oh, you've given us the answer for B. I might get you to explain how you got B. And Naomi, you're going to do C for us. And Claudie, you are going to do D. And Owetu, you're going to do E. Okay?
I'm saying you should give Nima a chance. I want to see what she can do.
Nima, oh, okay. Next one, when we do some prime when we do prime numbers, Nima, you're up.
Yes.
Yes. Nima, when we do prime numbers, you're up. Okay. You're going to be my first challenger. All right. Let's see. Got a whole lot of new messages going. Oh, so many dones. Okay. Hello, Zara. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So who was giving me the answer for A? It was A. Who was A? Okay, I don't have an answer coming through for A yet. So maybe actually I'm going to pick on Nima for A. Right, so Nima, can you tell us the answer for A? Nima, you can unmute. 18. Okay, can you tell us how you got to 18? You can either type it or you can talk it through. Let's give Nima 30 seconds. Okay, I'm not seeing Nima, so I'm going to go through A with you and we'll see how we go. Okay, see if we agree with Nima. All right, so remember, when we just get left with adding and subtracting, all we do is we go from left through to right. Okay, so we just go left through to right. So we do one thing at a time, going from left to right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to say 23 plus 13, which is going to give me, everybody unmute and talk to me. Let's hear some voices. It's very quiet.
36.
36. Fabulous.
36.
Okay,
36.
awesome. So we've got 36. And now we do the next step.
36.
Okay, so we've got the 36. Now we're going to do the next step where we're going to say 36 minus 16, which is everybody?
20.
20.
Fabulous. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 9 from
20.
and 20 minus 9 is
11.
11. And so our answer for A is 11. We're just going to go left to right. Okay, back on mute, guys. Back on mute. Thank you for your help.
11.
11. Thank you. We got our voices in there. All right. So who was doing B for me? Nima, does that make sense? Can you see where you went wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. All right, who was doing B? I can't remember. It was so long ago. Who was that you, Renze? Okay. Renze, hit me with the answer for B.
Miss, the answer is 8.
8, and how did you get 8?
Well, Miss, first you start with 3 times 4 equals 12 plus
Yep.
3 equals 15 minus 23 is
Ma'am,
8.
can I do B?
Oh, hang 1 second. So just stop for 1 second. So we've got 12, right? Now what's left in our row, Renette? We've got a subtraction and an addition. So we're going to go from left to right. So we're going to go from the beginning all the way through. So 25 minus 12 is?
Miss, it is 13.
13. And 13 plus 3 is?
16.
16. Okay. So remember, when we just get left with left to right, with just addition and subtraction, and we're going to just work from left to right. Okay. I'm seeing lots of people giving me the answer of 16. That is awesome. Guys, you're doing so nicely. Okay. Now I see someone use a different method for A. For when you're working with BODMAS, okay, there isn't really more than one method. Okay. So when you're working with BODMAS, we're going to go literally just go from left to right, because if you use a different method, if we group the numbers together, we're going to end up with different answers. Okay, because 5 minus 3, so if I have 5, let's say 5 minus 3 plus 1, I might not always get the same answer if I do it the same way around. Okay, because if I go from left to right, I've got 5 minus 3, which gives me 2, and 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3. Yeah, but if I do the addition first, check what happens. And this is why it's so important to go left from right. Okay, because if I do the addition first, can't choose a different color. Then I'm going to end up with 3 plus 1 is 4. And I'm going to have 5 minus 4 equals 1. Do you see how if I go from left to right, I get the answer 3. And if I don't go left to right, I get the answer 1. Okay, not the same sum at all. Okay, so it's really, really, really important that when we're doing BODMAS, if you only have addition and subtraction left in a row, all you do is you go from left to right. Okay, purely left to right. Has everyone got that? You nod your heads. Okay, cool. So this is where, yeah. So I'm still, yeah. That's why we don't use extra brackets in. Okay, Kelvin, we go from left to right. We're not going to group extra things into our problem. Okay, just work a left to right, so one section at a time. Okay, Kelvin, does that make sense? Fabulous. All right. Calvin says yes. Okay, who is doing C for me? Let's see C. Okay, let's see, where was it you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I said, so I start with the brackets first. 3 times 4.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
doing
C. C.
Doing C.
C.
Yes. Okay, you muted, Watiwe.
Well, I think, let me turn to the other page quickly.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Yes,
can I
yes,
try?
Let's just give Watiwe 5 more seconds to find her working out, and then I'll let you
No.
try.
Ma'am,
Okay, ma'am.
I didn't
Yes.
quite, I left it in the middle.
Oh,
Because the
did you?
time is over. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
You
Okay,
can do
so
it.
all right, let's hear it then.
Speshita, take it away. You ready?
Okay. I said 6 times 5
Yep.
equals to 30.
Yeah.
Then I was like 15 divided by 2 equals to 70. Let me see. Nope, it's 7. I think. Let me see.
7.5. 15 is not an
Yes.
even number. So we're not going to do it that
7.5.
way. Okay,
It's
we're not going to do.
7.5.
Okay, so hang 10. Okay, because can you see we've got another divide over here? We can't forget about him.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
forget about that divide. Okay, so we've got 30 divided by 15,
Yes.
which is going to give me how much?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. 6. 2.
Sure, you should
30.
see all the answers in the chat, ma'am.
All the
Ooh,
answers in the chat. I know these guys are like blowing my mind here.
no, there's like 1s and 2s and 2.6 and 0 and
I see quite a few of them are right, but we've got a couple that are a little bit well, I think they're answering different parts of the question though. So 30 divided by 15 is 2. Okay. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And so my final answer is going to be 1. So for all the ones in the chats, well done. Okay, that means that you're doing it absolutely spot on. So remember, we can't jump around in the sum. When there's 2 divides, we do the first division first. Okay, so first do the first division. Always go left to right. Okay, that's a super important rule. Okay, who was doing D for me? Who was doing D? I should have written these down because I've forgotten. Claudia was doing D. Hold on, Claudia was doing it. Okay, so talk to us.
Ma'am, I got 26 for my
Good.
answer.
Perfect. Okay, tell me how you got 26.
I first worked out the numbers that were in the brackets, which was 9 minus 3, and then my answer was 6, and then I multiplied 6 by 5, and then I got 30, and then I said 30 minus 4, and then I got 26.
26. Well done. Absolutely fabulous. Very, very, very impressed. Good job. Okay. And E. This was a tricky one, guys. I made E quite a tough one. Who was my E person?
Me, ma'am.
Okay, so let's hear how you did.
E is like 2 times 4 squared minus 20 plus 4. So 2 times, we just have to say 2 times 4 is equals to 8, ne? And then plus, but we must do 2 times 4 squared.
Okay,
minus,
hang 10. Hang 10. Hang 10.
Minus.
Okay, just hang on 1 second. Okay, so remember, we first have to start with the order. So the order is where we have squares. Our square numbers come into the order. So we're going to do squares first. Okay, because that's the order. And
Ma'am,
so
I think Wikanya says she might be able to help. Do you think Wikanya might be able to
oh,
help?
definitely.
Or
Okay.
Zintle, as you
Zintle.
know her. But
Zintle, do you want to give it a shot?
My answer for E was 2 times squared the power of 2 to the 4 minus 20 plus 4. So the first thing you do is the multiplication. So you're going to say 2 times 16 because of 4 to the power of 2 is 4 times 4 is 16. So 2 times 16 minus 20 plus 4, which is going to be 32 minus 24. Then 32 minus 24 is 8.
Okay, so 3/4 of the way was absolutely right. So you start off with the 4 squared, okay, 4 to the power of 2, which gives us 16. Perfect, okay. And then we're going to the multiplication. So we have 2 times 16, which is going to give us 32. Okay, now we've got a subtraction and an addition. So we're going to work from left to right. So we're going to keep going left to right. So we're going to say 32 minus 20, which is giving me 12. Yeah. And 12 plus 4 gives me
16.
16. Okay, do you see how important that left to right business is? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So for everybody, that's the biggest thing with BODMAS. That the most important thing with BODMAS is that when you're left with addition and subtraction only, you go left through to the right. Okay, in that order. Otherwise, you're going to get some really strange answers. Okay. We're going to get halves and negative numbers and all sorts of things that are going to make us cry a little bit. Okay, so left to right when we're going in BODMAS with addition and subtraction. Okay, all right, but well done to everyone who answered questions. I'm so proud of you. You guys are really on the right track with this. So good job. Yes, who's spamming me?
Question, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I ask that? How did you get 16?
For E. Okay,
Yes.
we'll go through E again quickly. All right. Okay, so I'm going to use a different color. And let's go with green. Okay, so remember with BODMAS, we want to start, we don't have any brackets. So we've got no brackets to draw on. Okay, do we have an order? So do we have a square root or a square number?
Yes, ma'am.
We do.
Yes.
Okay, we've got 4 squared. All right, so we've got an order, so that we have to do first. Okay, and 4 squared we know is 16, because that means 4 times 4, and we know 4 times 4 is 16. We don't have a divide. Okay, we do have a multiply. So now we're going to do the multiply next. So we're going to say 2 times 16, which gives me 32. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And now all we do is we go left to right. So we've got 32 minus 20, which is 12. And then we need to add 4 onto my 12, which gives me 16. Okay. Does that help a little bit? Do you understand where we got that, where we did multiplication first?
Yes, miss.
Okay, fabulous. Are there any more questions about this before? Well done for getting all the answers right, for those of you who got them right. And for those of you who tried, even though it was tricky, I'm seriously impressed, very impressed. Okay. Is there anyone who would like to, who needs to ask a question on BODMAS before we move on to something different? Okay, Jolie, your hand is raised.
Ma'am, it's not about BODMAS, but I was wondering, are we going to do a quiz today?
Not today. Wednesdays is quiz days.
And we're going to do that. We're going to look at that again at the end of the lesson. So don't worry, I'm going to tell you guys what to do at the end of the lesson.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sinclair, your hand is up.
Ma'am, I was asking that if there's necessarily not any order or maybe even brackets, do we still go left to right? Or if there's brackets, like for A, ma'am, if we had an open bracket, then we had 23 plus 13, then close brackets, would we still, when we write the answer 36, would we still have to write the open bracket, write 36 and then close the bracket, or do we just have to write the number 36?
It's completely up to you. So I did it to show you that I was starting there from left to right. Okay, but you don't have to. You could just do what some of my kids do is on top. They just write, so 23, or they actually write underneath because then you don't run out of space. 23 plus 13 is 36. So they write 36 and then they carry on minus 16 minus 9. And then they do 36 minus 16 is 20 and minus 9. And then they go 26 minus 20 minus 9 is 11, like that. So you don't have to add the brackets in if you don't want to. Okay.
Then, ma'am, when we are setting it like writing it the way you are writing 36 minus 11, 20 minus 9, and then write the answer, do we like have to, like, after working it out, do we have to write 23 plus 13 is 36, and then minus 11 minus 9, and yeah, like that?
You don't, if you can remember it all in your head, then that's absolutely fine. You do it in your head. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So when you've got enough numbers that you can remember them in your head, go for it. My memory is sometimes a little bit bad because I'm old and so I forget stuff. And so I find it useful to write things down so I don't forget what I'm doing. So that works for me. But if keeping it in your head works for you, keep it in your head. Okay. So it totally depends on what works for you. All right. Let's just see. So Zara, if you want to put the brackets in, then you put the brackets in. Okay, if that works for you, you do that. All right. So we're going to move on quickly to prime numbers. Okay, because prime
one
numbers.
of my favorites, ma'am. I love prime numbers.
Yes. Prime numbers are so awesome.
Yes.
They are such great fun. Okay, so
awesome. Okay.
A prime number is a natural number. Okay, so it's a number that is bigger than 1. Okay, so no fractions, no decimals, just whole numbers that are bigger than 1. Okay, and it's only positive, so we don't have any negative numbers, thank goodness. Okay, so we're only working with positive numbers. Okay, and remember a factor from last week. Okay, factors are numbers that when you multiply them together, make another number. So if I think about my factors of, I did this today with my kids actually. If I take factors of my pen, not factors of my pen, if I take factors of 4, okay, if I take factors of 4 are all the numbers that when I times them together will give me 4, all right? So factors of 4, the numbers that when I times them together are going to give me 4. So I know that 1 and 4, when I times them together, they make 4, and 2 times 2. So factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. Okay, those are my factors. The numbers that when I times them together make the number that I'm looking for. They make 4 or 6 or 16. Okay, now prime numbers are so cool because the only factors that they've got are itself and 1. So there's no other numbers, whole numbers, that you can multiply by to get them. Okay, so can anyone think, if we look at my list, okay, 2, what are the factors of 2? What are my factors of 2? Anybody?
The factors of 2 is 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay, so 2 would be a prime number, okay, because it could only be multiplied by 1 and itself. Okay, what about 3? Okay, what about 3?
It's 1 and 3, ma'am.
1 and 3. No other numbers, hey? So 3 is going to be prime. Now 4 we talked about. 4 we had 1, 4 and
2 and 2.
Ma'am, can I say also 5 is a prime number because 5 is only divided by 2 numbers, 1 and itself.
Good. So 5 is prime. And then 4, because 4 had 2 as well as a factor, that means that 4 is not prime because it's got an extra factor, okay, not just itself. What about 6? Who thinks that 6 would be, who would like to tell me if 6 is a prime number or not? Zara, what do you think? Zara, is 6 a prime number?
No, ma'am.
No, because it's got the factors. Zara is telling us it's got factors of 1, 2, 3, and 6. It's got too many factors. So not 6. 7?
Ma'am, can I tell you an interesting fact of the 2, the prime number 2?
Just now. Okay, just now. All right. Give us 30 seconds. So 7 is a prime number. What do you notice so far?
Yes.
What do you notice so far about my prime numbers other than 2? What do you notice? I've got 3, 5, and 7.
They're odd numbers.
They're odd numbers. And why can't an even number ever be prime? Why can't an even number ever be prime other than 2? 2 is the only prime even number.
Because it has many factors.
Yes.
Okay, so any number that is even can be divided by 2, right? Which means it has 2 as a factor. That makes it not prime. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do something different. I'm not going to highlight. We are going to use, let's see. Oh, no, they don't give me very nice colors there. I'm going to go with black, and we're going to scratch out the ones that aren't prime. Okay, so 4 we're going to scratch out, and 6 we're going to scratch out, and 8 we're going to scratch out. So all the even numbers, we're going to scratch them out. Actually, you know what? We can just go shoof the whole way down this column. Do you agree with me? And the whole way down this column. And the whole way down this column. Ha ha ha. This is fun. And this one. We can get rid of the rest of these numbers because those none of those are prime.
Ma'am, 9 is a
9 is a
prime.
compass. Is 9 prime?
No, ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am, 9 is a composite number.
9 is a composite number. If we think about the factors of 9, right? Factors of 9. We've got 1,
1, 3, and
9.
9.
And 3, because 3 times 3 makes 9. So 9 is not prime. What about 11?
Yes, ma'am. It's a prime number.
It is a prime
It's
number.
a prime number, ma'am.
Awesome.
It
Oh,
is,
I spotted a whole row we can get rid of, or a whole column we can get rid of. Who can tell me which column I've just spotted that we can get rid of without even having to think about them?
Ma'am, the 5 column, the number 5 column.
That's right, because if it ends in a 5, it can be divided by
5.
5, right? Here we have, remember how I told you times tables are going to be so important in our first lesson? Here's times tables.
Another one, ma'am. Also me.
Okay, so we can cross out the whole of the 5 times table. And now we can have a look and see which ones are prime. Okay, so I'm going to look here with my yellow highlighter. And we can see we've got 11 is prime. Is 13 prime?
Yes.
Yes, 13 is prime.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What about 17?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
17 is prime.
Yes, ma'am.
And 19, good. 19 is prime. What about
Yes.
21?
No.
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am. It's not prime.
Yes.
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, mute. Because we get
Yes,
so many different
ma'am.
answers. Mute. Right.
Yes.
21. Let's think about the factors of 21, right? So 1 and 21. But then 3 times 7 is also 21. Uh-oh. So that means that 21 is not a prime number. Sorry for you, Mr. 21. You're not prime. Okay. 23 is prime.
No. Yes.
23 is
Is it
prime.
no or yes?
Yes.
It is prime. That's right.
Yes.
And 27. What do you reckon, guys? 27. Yes or no?
No. No. No.
Okay,
No.
Naomi, why do you say no?
Oh.
Naomi tells us no. Why?
9 can go into 27.
9 can go into 27. Sorry, guys, got to plug my laptop in earlier. So 9 can go into 27. So 27 is not a prime number because it's got the factor of 9 and 3. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do quickly, we're not going to go through the whole list because we can work these out quite easily. We can learn the first, you know what's a good idea? The best idea is to learn the first 10 prime numbers off by heart. Okay. So I'm giving you a grid. So you can see my red grid there that's got prime numbers. So if you can learn, so what I suggest you do is if you can take a screenshot or a photo of this, okay, otherwise you can always Google it another time. Learn the first 10 prime numbers off by heart. It'll help you a little bit later on with maths. Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that while I plug my laptop in. And then we're going to start a little bit on prime factorization to give you a head start for next week's lesson. Okay, so take a screenshot quickly. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
I think, guys, I mean, teacher Rebecca's gone, but I believe in you guys. I think we can learn all the prime numbers. What do you guys think? I think we can learn them all, hey? They're not too many.
Yes, ma'am. I know that. I know them all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can.
Right? This isn't that
Okay.
difficult. I mean, it's not that many. I think we can learn
We
them
can
all.
do
10, we can learn 10.
nice.
Okay, we can learn 10 because the first 5, we know anyway. You guys could tell me the first 5 without thinking about it. Okay, it only starts getting a little bit more tricky after 15, really. So from number 15 onwards, it gets a tiny bit more tricky, but it's just memorizing them. So what you can do is take a ball and bounce a ball while you memorize numbers. You go, prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Make a dance or a rap or a song or something to learn your prime numbers. Okay, because it is a useful thing just to know them off by heart. Okay, so do you need to stand up and have a little wiggle and a shake? Okay.
Wiggle, wiggle.
So if you want to stand
Yes,
up and have a
no,
little
wiggle,
wiggle and a
wiggle.
shake, sometimes it's helpful to have a wiggle and a shake after you've been sitting for a long time. So stand up, have a wiggle, have a shake. If you're lucky, I might do a dance with you next time. One of you can teach us a dance. I'm not very good dancer, but I do like dancing. So we can do a dance or something. So just have a bit of a stretch because we need your brains awake for this next bit. Because we're going to work out prime factors.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes.
I only see pictures. I can't see.
Ooh.
Can
Andy,
you
so if you're
guys-
only seeing pictures, do you wanna, you can leave the meeting quickly and come straight back in. Okay, maybe that might help.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have a
matter.
question?
Oh no, ma'am. I think it's from the other question.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
forgot to
Lower.
yes.
Cool,
No, that's
cool.
okay.
We'd rather, at least we know it was just for that other question. Okay, guys, we're going to learn prime factors. Now, this is like for real grade 7 stuff, okay? Because this, none of you will have done in grade 6 before. This is all, and if you did, your teachers are amazing and very brave. So this is brand new stuff for everybody, okay? And some people might have done it in class already, so they might have a little head start. Other people might have never, ever seen this and are going like, what? What Greek is this that you're teaching us? It's actually so easy. Okay, so what we want to do is we are wanting to work out how do we split up a number into its different prime numbers. Okay, so we want to work it out as the factors of prime numbers. All right, so here we go. What I want you to do is in your book or on your paper, we're going to use the ladder method, okay? Your teachers might use something called the tree method. I find I forget where I am in the tree method. I find it a little bit more confusing. I like the ladder method because it's very clear, okay? I forgot to add something in. Oh, hold on. I make my kids do this. We do a smiley face when we get to 1 because that's where we finish and we like being finished. But I don't know if it's going to let me do a smiley face here. It's not letting me smiley face it. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is if we need to find the prime factors of 50, so you're going to draw a ladder for me quickly. Okay. So you're going to draw a line going down and then a branch at the top. Okay. So everyone drawing that. So cross. Okay. And then the number that we are going to factorize goes on the top right-hand side. So we're going to factorize 50. So we're going to put that in the top right-hand side. Okay, so we've got our ladder with a 50. So far, so good? Excellent. Okay, now we need to think of the lowest prime number that can possibly go. That can. Oh, this one's actually wrong. This, you can ignore that one. That one's wrong. I didn't even spot that when I put it together. What is my lowest prime number that can go into 50?
Oh, well done, Tanvir. You got it like first.
Hey, lekker. Oh, my chat's closed. I didn't even see it. Well done. Okay. The lowest number that can go into 50 is 2. Okay. So we're going to put a 2 next to the 50. Yes, yes? All right. So put your 2 in. Okay. Now I'm going to say 50 divided by 2 is going to give me what left over, Lesedi?
25.
25. So I'm going to put my 25 under my 50. All right. Now, what's my lowest prime number that's going to go into 25? Ramir?
5.
5 is my lowest prime number that's going to go into 25. So I'm going to write that on my other side. And 25 divided by 5 is going to give me, Sandiswa?
Four.
Okay, 25 divided by 5 is going to give me 5. All right. And what's my lowest prime number with T-Ray that can go into 5 is?
1.
Nope, not yet. 1's not a prime number. What is the lowest prime that can go into 5? Maria?
I think it's either 2 or 3.
It's 5,
Ma'am, it's
ma'am.
5.
Ma'am, it's 5.
5.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's 5.
It is 5. It is 5.
five.
Okay. So remember, a factor is a number that you can multiply by another number, okay, to get the answer. So 5 times 1 gives me 5. Okay, so my lowest prime factor is 5. And 5 divided by 5 gives me 1. And now I am finished because I've gotten all the way down to 1. So I do my smiley face to say I'm finished. Okay, and that's the ladder method. Now all we need to do is write it. Okay, and we write it. We look at these numbers and we use a different color. We're going to have a look at these numbers. And we're going to write them as timesing each other. Okay, so we're going to have 2
Times 5.
times 5 times 5.
Times 5.
And if I want to be really fancy, how do I write 5 times 5? Michle?
Yes, ma'am.
5 to the power.
How do I write 5 times 5 if I want to be really fancy?
5 squared.
5 squared. So I can write 2 times 5 squared, and it means the same thing. And that's it. That's it. You guys have just done prime factorization. That wasn't too bad, was it? Tandeka, what do you think?
It wasn't too bad, ma'am.
Not too bad. Ah, that's excellent. Okay, so I'm going to give you one to do on your own quickly because we've got like 1 minute left. Okay. And I want you to see if you can work out the prime factors of 48. Okay. So we're going to draw your ladder with your 48 on the right-hand side. And remember, we're starting with the lowest prime number. So we're going to see if 2 can go in. 2 is usually where we want to start because 2 is a nice low number, the low prime. And we're going to see. So I'm going to do the first little bit with you. So 48, 2 can go into 48. 2 can go into 48 24 times. And I'm going to think again of the lowest prime number. Good. Okay, and the lowest prime number again, I hope you're ahead of me by a step at least, is 2. Eek. Hello, pen. Oh, I'm having real problems today with my finger. I think my board's decided it's enough. I think my pen's fallen asleep. Yep. There we go. It's awake again. Oh, sorry guys, my pen has just disappeared on me. Let's see if I can, there we go. I think my battery's going again. I do too much writing. Okay. So 24 and 2 can go into 24, which gives us 12. And the lowest prime that can go into 12 is 2, which gives us 6. And the lowest prime that can go into 6 is 2, which gives me 3. And the lowest prime that can go into 3 is 3. And that gives me 1. And I'm finished. Okay. Do you guys agree with my ladder?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so how do I write this as timesing?
Ma'am, can I
super
try?
fast. Go for it.
2 by
Okay.
the power.
You say 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3.
Good. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And if I want to be really fancy, how would I write that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2?
2 to the power of 5.
Power 4.
2 to the power of 4. Okay, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 times
2.
3 squared.
It's 2.
Cube.
Oh, I can't find something to write. 2 to the power of 4.
4.
Okay, that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 4 lots of timesing by itself by 2. Okay, so it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 4 times by 3. Okay, guys, we are going to practice some more of these on Wednesday. So I'm going to give you a whole lot to do for me on Wednesday to get the hang of them. And we are going to make sure that we can nail this. So when you do it in class, your teachers are going to go, oh, you're a genius. I don't need to teach you. Okay, which is what we really want. Okay.
Ma'am, on Wednesday, I'm going to have a quiz.
We are going to have a quiz on Wednesday. Okay, and we'll do there's going to be some ladders in the quiz as well. There's going to be some prime factoring in the quiz. But I know you guys are going to do really well with the quiz because so far you guys have nailed these quizzes. Okay. All right, Coco.
Don't leave yet. We're not quite done. Don't leave yet.
Okay, Coco, over to you.
Thank you. I am going to share my screen quickly. I think Wetiwe has a question. And Lungaye?
Okay, Wetiwe?
Ma'am, can I answer just before you leave?
Yes. Do you want to stay on? Okay.
Yes.
Fine. That's cool.
Yes.
And Lungaye?
Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to pick up some names, guys. Remember the names that I'm calling. Okay. The first name is Celo Gushe. I hope Celo Gushe can unmute because I'm going to ask you to read something for me. And Jaden, you're also going to read something for me. Mahluli, you're also going to read something for me. And let me pick one more, Tupi. Okay. I don't know who Tupi is, but the 4 of you are going to read something for me. And I'm going to share my screen quick. Okay. And I want you guys to be there with me. Hold on. Okay. So the first name that I called out, whose name did I call out first? I need that person to unmute for me. Okay, awesome. I need you to read rule number 1 for me, please. And I need you guys to remember everything that's written on here because we're going to be using it. Can you read rule number 1? Number 1.
Mute and raise.
Thank you. Mute and raise. Guys, if I've taught you nothing, because teacher Rebecca teaches everything. If I've taught you nothing, guys, we mute. And if you know the answer, you raise your hand. And what do we do if teacher Rebecca doesn't call your name? Zinhle, I know you know the answer. What do we do if teacher Rebecca doesn't call your name?
Ma'am, you stay unmuted until she calls your name.
And if she doesn't, what do you do?
Ma'am, you raise up your hand until you get chosen.
Yeah, and if she doesn't choose you, what do we do?
Ma'am,
Who knows?
you
Naomi,
wait
do you know?
for...
What do we do?
Ma'am, we wait for the next question, or if not, we can just type our answer inside the comment section so that we can help the person who's also answering.
Exactly. We type our answer in the chat so that whoever's answering, if they're stuck or they don't quite know the answer, then they can look in the chat quickly and that can help them. Okay, number 2. Who's going to read number 2 for me?
Ma'am, can I read it?
We're going to go through these rules every Monday. So I'm going to remember you for next Monday. Okay, I think it was Jaden who needed to read number 2 for me. Jaden, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, can you read number 2 for us, please?
If you don't get picked to answer, you can pop your answer in the chat.
in the chat. Exactly what we just spoke about. Okay. If you don't get picked to answer, you can pop your answer in the chat and then you're helping. All right. Who is my number 3? Mahluli, are you there? Mahluli, can you read number 3 for me?
Log into watobe.co.za. Always have your logins ready.
Good. Always have your logins ready. Guys, you need to remember that every single class, you use your logins to get onto the call. So you need to remember your logins. Okay, we always need to remember our logins. Why is that? Tupi, can you tell us why do we need to remember our logins? Tupi, are you there? Can you unmute?
To remember your login so that you can join the call.
Okay, but you need to read number 4 for me. Number 4, why?
Wednesday is quiz day.
Thank you, because Wednesday is quiz day, okay? Everybody who's asked me in the chat, you can unmute. When is quiz day? It's on?
Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Okay. I heard somebody say, who said Tuesday? Guys, okay, it's on Wednesday. Okay, guys,
Wednesday.
do not forget that every Wednesday we have quiz day, okay? And you need your logins to get to the quiz. So that's why we always need to have our logins ready,